Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post show. How are you doing? Let me pull myself up on the screen, or should I say, I always forget to properly title the show now. The Scam Economy Crypto Hotline post show. Although oddly enough, just as I changed the changed the name to be more specific, all of a sudden we went from like people calling in to specifically just talk crypto to all of a sudden people wanted to talk about other things too. But that's just it's the post show. We're live. I take calls. You could call in and talk about anything. Not gonna force you to talk about a certain anything. You know how I am. You could literally. Oh, but I didn't even open the phone lines yet. Let me do that first of all. And how did you all enjoy that episode? I thought Mario was great. Mario Gomez arrested for protesting the the Bitcoin laws in El Salvador, simply criticizing the push for Bitcoin to be used as a currency, being forced on people in terms of businesses having to accept Bitcoin, even though they just would go turn around and immediately exchange it for cash, physical US dollars, which of course they would need to exchange and get hit with fees and such. Just waste their time. The ebb and flow of crypto means that whatever they were paid might not be worth exactly that amount when they went to cash out. And like Mario said, we're talking about people who have basically a monthly salary of around, what was it, 300 some odd dollars. Oh, already got calls coming. Oh, already had a bunch of calls waiting. Let me take a call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. How's it going? It's Adam from LA.
Hey, Adam from LA. It's going good. How are you? And what would you like to talk about, Adam?
I will talk about crypto and how much it annoys me, if that's okay.
Oh, I am super excited that that's the topic.
So I just want to give you a little preface. First time, long time. I've been watching you for years on Majority, great friends of all the crew there. And in the beginning of COVID, unfortunately, my girlfriend lost her job. So we became a one-income household. So I did everything under the sun to try to make ends meet. And about a year ago,
Is this about to be a story about how you put some money into crypto?
maybe.
Ooh,
Stay tuned and find out.
let's do this. I needed to know how excited to get. Not that obviously this is not. I'm not even gonna spoil anything. Go ahead, and then we'll get to it when you get to it. You can already tell I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
You're on edge. I can tell. So I tried a bunch of different things. I have a job, but I took on several other jobs and just to make ends meet, to kind of get by, pay the rent, pay the mortgage, etc. And my cousin turned me on to day trading. And I actually had some success with that. And I continue to have success with that. I hate capitalism. I hate the stock market, but unfortunately I have to provide for my family. So I do enough to get by, and I really do hope I'm not hurting anyone in the process. But lately, because I had to join different Discord groups to learn different techniques, I'm totally new to this. I got inundated with crypto bros telling me, hey man, you want to turn that $50 a day into $5,000 a day, et cetera, et cetera. And I really realized that none of these guys know what the hell they're talking about. And the biggest issue I'm having is everyone that I'm talking to doesn't really know what they're talking about either. You see, in day trading, at least you have something to base it off of, okay? And this is not a evangelical call for day trading, okay? There's companies that are doing things, making products, Apple, Tesla, whatever. Love them, hate them, it doesn't matter. Cryptocurrency doesn't do shit, okay? It just, no one has told me what it does and what it can do. And the amount of scams out there, you have to be careful. It really just, it's inundating even, moderate traders such as myself. And what I kind of want to leave you with, in short, is it's going to come to an end, and I feel like it is coming to an end. You're seeing lately that a lot of this NFT stuff is kind of imploding. I'm sure your callers know more than I do. The value of all this stuff is really going away. And the majority of people that were really forcing me to get into crypto day trading, which is a doable thing, have lost thousands, if not hundreds of thousands.
This is something I've been meaning to do. I've been on my to-do list for an episode, possibly even more than just a singular episode, something a larger project. I've been wanting, because you don't see this. All you hear about, CNBC every other day. I don't think they've been doing it lately because, like you said, the interest in it from the mainstream at least is sort of dwindling. But there was a good year-long stretch, I would say, at the very least, where like CNBC and other mainstream financial publications were posting every other day about a new alternative like shitcoin millionaire. This guy invested in Shiba Inu and now his whole family's got $10 million. This guy invested $100,000 in Dogecoin and now he's a millionaire. Every other day you heard about these little stories about that, and I'm thinking, this is going to end up, this is of course going to be just like how the stock market is, like you were mentioning. You hear these stories about these, just think about the GameStop guy, whatever his name was, that YouTuber who helped pump GameStop during the whole meme stock craze in January of last year, and he made a lot of money. For every one of those, though, you got tons of people trying to day trade in the stocks, and they're losing a shit ton of money. I'm going to guess it's even worse in crypto. I'm going to guess the losses are going to be even, maybe not when it comes to hard numbers for money, but spread apart among people, at least when relative to how many people are actually doing it. I'm going to think those numbers for crypto has got to be more.
It's a lot worse. I'll give you two scenarios, okay? This is what goes against the crypto bros, as I call them. One is, and I have family members who bought Bitcoin when it was, in the pennies, okay? They're in banking, they're in investment banking. They haven't sold a single one at any point because they're unfortunate, they're true believers. And I guarantee you, they will hold on to that stuff until it's worth less than a penny, because that's the mentality of these people. They're paper billionaires, okay? I have yet to really meet anyone, and I deal with a lot of, in the amount of work I do, I know it sounds shady what I'm talking about right now, but in a lot of different avenues of my regular job, I do interact with a lot of wealthy people. And some of those people do make their money off Bitcoin, but none of them have made it off the coins itself. They made it off of secondary things like mining, leasing out mining equipment, or et cetera.
Adam, you can be forward with me and let the audience know that you are indeed a hitman.
It's okay. You name the person, they're gone. Don't worry, man. I got you. Second thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You finish
your.
Then I'll ask you. Go ahead. Keep going.
The second thing is, unfortunately, crypto has become, the best thing I could think of it as pogs. They're just tokens or some sort of symbolic piece that it's easy for people to understand. Oh, this pog has a picture on it of the Burger King crew or Alf or whoever, and I love them, so I'm going to buy into it. But the pog itself has no value. It's what you're emotionally putting into it. Whereas something like a stock or a company has value because they produce a product.
I will say there's a difference, though, where, when you buy a pog, you actually have something. Like
this is true, yeah, a digital pog, an NFT of a pog.
Right. Like if I invested in pogs and my investment went belly up because pogs are now worthless, I can still play the game that goes along with Pogs. If I invest in a token, whatever cryptocurrency, and then that cryptocurrency goes under, I can't do anything. I can't even. I don't even have something to hang up on my wall as a daily reminder of my failures. I have
You could put your bank
zilch.
account statement.
That's true. That's true. But I would have that bank account statement with or without the token. The token.
This is true. Yeah, it's just so you really get nothing basically. You're using electricity.
Yes.
You're wasting your time. And I know people. Look, I've had crypto investments because I was desperate at a point. I was like, okay, I'm hearing people are making money. I made a little money off Dogecoin. When I mean a little bit of money, I bought lunch. I think there's better ways to spend your time. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here because I've yet to meet anyone really. And again, I say this, I'm no banking guru, I'm no anything, but show me someone who's made money from the actual product itself without having to sell it to others, selling their souls, and then maybe I'll believe you and buy some myself.
Well, there's none of that in crypto because the whole
It
market
doesn't exist.
Yeah, it all requires someone else buying. Now, have you or let me be a little bit more broad just in case. Have you
It's okay,
or,
you be as direct as you want to.
okay, have you lost any money? Like, are you
I
when you count all your
oh my
what
God,
you put
have I lost money? Yes.
Yes,
Let's
okay.
Let's put it like this. I had some very expensive hiccups as soon as a couple weeks ago. It's and this is the broader thing about crypto. When you're trading anything, stocks, bonds, treasuries, it doesn't matter, okay? There's a certain amount of risk involved. And you can make $20 a day, $2,000 a day, it doesn't matter. You could also lose it the next day. They always tell you, any trading system, platform, whatever, they always tell you, don't put money you can't afford to lose. Meaning, you could start with $20 and hopefully you can build it up to $100 and eventually $1,000. It's not going to happen overnight. The thing I have the biggest problem with crypto and crypto bros is they tell you, give us $100 even if you can't afford it, and it'll turn into $1,000 tomorrow. Because here's all the examples this has happened to. At least the trading community is upfront with you. They tell you, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight. It's a long and difficult process. So yes, I've lost a lot of money that I'm very upset about, but overall I'm up, but I understood that going in. It was never money I could afford to not lose.
Right. So are you completely out of crypto and any dabblings in crypto?
Yeah, because I buy drugs still. So, you have to have that's the only thing that's keeping me there, is that some of my boss's clients, whatever you call them, accounts, they don't accept legal, they want crypto. So I got to go where the market goes, unfortunately.
Right. Thanks for the call and sharing. I would love to if you know anyone who would also want to share their personal experience, as vague as they'd like to, about how they've lost money here. I'd be very interested in talking to more people because I just don't think that's enough of those stories are being told. Everyone's being told that everyone who's getting into this is getting rich quick, and the vast majority are just not. It's quite the opposite. Everyone's getting poor quick.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised in trading or regular stocks or day trading forums, communities. The Bitcoin bros are like the cancer in our group, because again, it's I'm not a day trading guy that it's like, oh, it's the best thing ever. No, I understand, I hate capitalism personally, but I have to do what I got to do right now. And I don't want to do this forever, but we all hate the Bitcoin guys. We all do. They're annoying. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They think they reinvented the wheel. They think they understand markets. They don't know shit.
Right. Thanks for the call, and definitely feel free to call in anytime to share any more. This was really interesting to hear from someone who who was brought into it the way you were, and seems to not be like completely out of their element. Seems to have a bit of experience in the investing world a little bit, at the very least, and still ended up seeing through this after, because most people, I think, unfortunately, when they start experiencing loss, they double down and say, if I put a little bit more, this is just temporary. I put a little bit more in, it'll turn around and I'll make my money back and more.
I'll leave you with one story before I go, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. Someone that I know, okay, he's a crypto diehard. I talk the markets with him in general, but he always wants to talk about crypto. And I just talked to him because he's a friend of mine, acquaintance, and he was buying crypto on margin, which, if anyone's familiar with margin, it's the stupidest thing to do if you don't know what you're doing. Basically, you're borrowing money you don't have. And I'm sure you've heard the horror stories of a lot of kids during the GameStop thing where they were buying options on margin, hoping that it would turn into their favor, but a lot of them ended up losing a lot of money. I think one kid committed suicide, if I'm not mistaken, because he lost money he didn't have and he could never pay it back, in the tune of hundreds of thousands. Him and actually some other people I know lost several $100,000 on Bitcoin, and the remedy to pay it back was to take out PPP loans during the crisis. So there's a lot of shadiness, and there's a lot of these Bitcoin guys are willing to face years in jail, basically, if caught out, because they can't just admit they're wrong. They can't just say, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing here, or I don't understand this market, or this is just bullshit. So it's a wild world out there.
Right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the call, and please do call in again. Seriously, this was
Definitely,
great.
man. Love the show. I really do.
Take care. Thanks for the kind words. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye. Oh, got another call. I was just about to say. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's David from Clifton, Colorado, Lauren Boebert country.
Hey, David from Lauren Boebert country. I hope just living in her general proximity hasn't given you explosive diarrhea based upon her restaurant.
I've never eaten at a restaurant. The reason why I was calling, it's less to do with cryptocurrency, but more about the scam economy itself. I've been looking for jobs, and on platforms like LinkedIn, there are tons of scammers trying to hire people, or pretending to hire people rather. And and I have previously worked for a major bank in the fraud department, and so I'm a little bit aware of their tactics, but it's everywhere on LinkedIn. And I was wondering if you had any, if you were up on any info related to that.
In terms of people hiring for like Web3 projects and things like that.
It's not even that, but like when scammers are trying to get your information, like any little bit that they can get helps them with what they're trying to do. And they know that a lot of people are looking for jobs, especially work from home jobs. So your resume is a treasure trove of information to where they can do a lot with that. And basically their goal is to come up with enough information that they can verify your identity to some call center person, and then they can do a lot with that.
Yes, that's interesting. I have to look more into that one specifically. I mean, there's always been a lot of scams with, job, opportunities online, whether it be, I mean, we could talk about like legit like job boards, like, you know, Monster and LinkedIn is probably more relevant nowadays. Craigslist was always a big one, although Craigslist
Yeah,
has
Craigslist was always problematic
right,
like
but
that.
they changed how their platform worked a lot, which means that scammers aren't using it as much. But yeah, a lot of times though, it was more centered around just convincing someone to that there's a great opportunity they'd be a great fit for, but they need to put some money in. Like that would be the scam. It wouldn't surprise me though if the scams have completely continued to evolve so much to literally start saying, "Hey, yeah, this is a real job. Give me your information," and then using that to like set up a fake account under their name or something. That wouldn't be surprising at all. In terms of any sort of, I'm not sure if you were specifying crypto scams, but that doesn't have to be specifically. But in terms of crypto scams, I'm not familiar. It wouldn't surprise me if there were, but I'm not familiar in anything specific in terms of like crypto scams on job boards.
And from my experience working at a bank in the fraud department, we dealt with Bitcoin issues and crypto issues a lot because the bank that I worked for, I won't name, but they started a policy where they were going to decline just about every transaction attempted, pending like a 4 to 5 day review, and that led to me dealing with a lot of pissed off customers, for sure, and not really a lot I could tell them except like maybe the bank will approve this transaction in a few days.
Right. Hey, these are, I have to look more. I have to look more into this for sure. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
That's about it. I've been a longtime fan of the Majority Report. I really appreciate your podcast. You really dig deep on some interesting issues, and I really appreciate that. And thanks for taking my call, and have a great day.
I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. It means a lot. Also, great call. I really, I appreciate it when people call in, and especially if they got something new for me that I didn't have on my radar. This is going to be something that goes on my list of the hundreds of topics that I'm going to be looking into on this show. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I also appreciate that you are also a fan of Leftover Crack, one of my favorite bands.
I will say that I've heard some things that has made me not wear their shirts in recent months.
I've heard those things too.
It's very disappointing.
But, those
and
my experience listening to them and seeing their shows were positive, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it does suck because they were my favorite band too. The music's still great, but I don't know about wearing the shirts quite yet. Got to find out a little bit more about what's going on there. Have a great night.
For sure. Take care, Matt.
Let's go to geez, a lot of callers tonight. I'm appreciative of it. Hold on, before I take your call, you're on the air. Just give me 1 second though. I wanted to drop something here for people to know. So I think it's Dave from Jamaica. Just give me 1 second. Stay on the line, buddy. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will be hosting a Twitter Space on Mashable's Twitter feed. They will be, I will be interviewing a group of filmmakers who are using, will plan on using a Web3 project, basically NFTs, to fundraise for their film. Now, these are legit filmmakers. Their movie that sort of set the storyline basis for the Web3 movie they want to do. It's on Hulu. The guy who plays Mandalorian and Oberlin from Game of Thrones, what's his name again? Oh my God, his name is completely over my head right now. He's in the movie. I watched it. I really enjoyed the movie. So these are legit filmmakers who are exploring the idea of using NFTs to raise money for their film. You can assume what my take on it is. I am extremely skeptical, to say the least. But at the same time, and I've said this on this show before, especially like the first or second episode of the live show, the phone call show, there were like a few artists who called in to talk to me about their NFT dabbling. And I said then, like, this is probably the one area where I don't agree. My beliefs in this being anti this doesn't change, but I am sympathetic to artists who have been drawn to the space. It'll be an interesting conversation. I'm not gonna. I'm definitely, like I said, sympathetic to their trying to raise money to make more movies and finding this way to do it. In terms of cutting out the traditional methods of finding a big money backer. My push on them, my critique of them, my discussion of them is going to be, is this really the way to do it, though? If you want to tune in, it'll be on Mashable Twitter feed at Mashable tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Thank you so much. This is Dave from Jamaica, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or could be.
It is. How are you doing, my friend? What would you like to talk about? And thanks for your patience while I let people know that. Usually I'm like, I'll say something while I wait for calls, and then everyone starts calling in, and then by the time I get around to it, it's like 12 midnight, and I'm half asleep and ready to just log off. So I wanted to just get it out there while I still had energy. Go ahead, Dave. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, so no, that's not a problem, man. You do what you need to do, man. But I guess also, what was it? I'm making sure I'm sticking to the crypto stuff today. So I remember I was going to give you a taste of the online dating stuff, and I had more time to think about it. I think Americans will experience more of the scams because, world reserve currency. So you guys are the major target of most scams. So when it comes to the dating apps, 100%. Though since we have scammers in Jamaica, what I know with scammers is they want a target that lasts a while. You know what I mean? So they're not going to. They're not necessarily interested in people who have low income as much, because that doesn't last long. Eventually they kept, and then they have to go through a lot of work to find a new cow to milk, so to speak. So hence that's why they target old retirees and maybe people who have high incomes on dating apps, because it's something you can draw out longer, because they don't like spending a large amount of time finding new scam victims, at least the ones who work independently for themselves, if you get what I'm saying.
Say that one more time. Actually, I'm not following quite. Just go ahead one more time.
Right. You have two types of scammers, because we have a lot of scammers in Jamaica who target the elderly in the States and so on and so forth. The thing is, unless if they're like working in a call center type situation where they have kind of like a boss who runs a kind of a illegal call center where they fish for stuff.
Right.
Then they're going to have to do a bit of turnover. They have to get more people, if you get what I'm saying, right? But you also have scammers who work independently. In other words, they work solo, right? And those guys tend to target people who they can get a long-term kind of situation. You catching me so far?
Yes.
Right. So with the dating apps now, in those scenarios, a lot of the dating apps are run by the people who do the scams for them. Like, it's a one-person show. You get what I'm saying so far?
Right, yes.
Right. So they want to target somebody. They don't want to. They want to target one. They want to target like a few individuals. They can milk for a long time.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
that's why
the date. That's
you're not going to see
that's a
them
really-
target low income people as much, because that doesn't last as long. Eventually, the guy is going to get to a point where he can't afford. He's physically incapable of pumping money.
Okay, that's
into
a really
this hope of getting the date.
That's a really good point. It didn't come up in my last episode on the dating app scams because I was just talking to people who experience things, and the people who called me obviously were in that category of not having a lot of money to be milked of. So we didn't get to that, but that is an absolutely great point.
I think with their cases,
a lot of scam, a lot. You'll see this with elderly when they get an elderly person. Like, that's sort of why some of the scams are just so dumb in the first place. What they're looking for is the lowest, like the absolute lowest of the low in terms of like a person who will catch on to what happened. So they get someone to fall for the most ridiculous scam, and they go, holy shit, I found my easy as shit mark. This person's going to, literally fall and be bamboozled by anything I throw at them.
Exactly.
And I can keep milking that cow. And so, and they'll go as crazy as possible with that, even that initial scam. It'll be like not only something super dumb, but the amount of money will be so insane. Like, right off the bat, scamming like $1,000 from someone over like the dumbest shit. And then they're like, okay, let me see if I can keep this going. And if that person is hooked for a second time, then they know, there we go. They'll keep going. And then that's how you hear these people say, I felt, and this usually does happen with the dating app ones, because they think the target, the mark, thinks they actually found someone who has romantic interest in them. And
they string that along.
Yeah, so when you hear someone like say like, oh, I lost $200,000, and this is something that I've read in more than once. I've lost $200,000 in a dating app scam. It's not like they swiped right on someone, started talking with them, and sent them $200K. No, over the course of many months, they thought they were in love, or someone was in love with them, and they had empathy for whatever the story the scammer was telling them, without knowing it was a scam, obviously. And here and there, they would in drips. They would, here's $1,000 to help here, $3,000 for the rent that you said you're gonna miss, so you could stay in home. Oh, you needed plane tickets to come meet me. Oh, here's $1,000 for that. Oh, it got canceled. Oh, it's okay. Why don't you still go have that dinner we were gonna have with a bunch of friends. Here's another $200, and that will accumulate to whatever amount of money that they end up losing in the end.
And hence why you also see a lot of automation with this. Like, when it comes to X-rated sites and stuff like that, you'll see things pop up on the side that says, meet hot girls in this area now. But it's so poorly automated, right? I would get the same ad you would get, Matt, in America, showing some white chick in Jamaica.
Right.
And that's as you said, that's the genius of it, because they want the most gullible or desperate person they can find.
I gotta say, what is gonna end up happening to you, Dave, is that there's going to be a gorgeous white woman in Jamaica, a real one,
living 30 minutes away,
living 30 minutes away from you, just moved there, finds you on the dating app and has legitimate interest in you, and you're gonna say this is a scam, and you're gonna lose out on true love.
Exactly. But and I think, my experience with dating apps, I used to do eHarmony. It didn't work. But the thing is, I think if you want the lowest chance of being scammed, well, for me, I put the actual salary, but put the lowest amount of salary you get and just fill out the profile normally. Your odds of you getting scammed is very low. Now, with the callers who called in, I think in their cases, especially how hilariously upset the person got, I think that person was kind of new to the scamming game. Right? She was kind of new to it. That's my guess. because their target selection was weird. All of it is it smacks me of a kind of
A noob.
person who's new to it.
Yeah.
That's my read of it.
In terms of someone who's doing the scamming.
You're right. That sounds like somebody's new.
But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they don't even like the scamming operations sort of like bringing in new people just to see how, you know, I mean, think about it. If you don't know how to scam, but you're still, they throw you right in there and you end up scamming someone, that's a brand new sort of strategy that they could go for that they might not have thought of because they might have thought it was too low bore or something. You know what I mean?
That might be the case, but I think it's more like in India. You might have the large collective scamming call centers. My suspicion is like Malaysia. I know in Jamaica you have more independent operators who just work for themselves. Because funny enough, in Jamaica you have a lot of violence between various scammers because they're trying to get the numbers from each other. There's lots of deaths and shootings and all of that.
Right.
So.
Wouldn't surprise me at all that there was gang wars over scams over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's basically the scamming game when it comes to dating apps. But I think also I'm a bit skeptical of dating apps now. I think it's kind of like a lot like other schemes in general. During the early days of dating apps, I think you'd have your best chance of getting connections. But nowadays, I think it's not going. The odds are you're going to get you're going to get screwed either way. But that reminds me, though. I think I also wanted to quickly talk about the thing with Elon Musk on Twitter. I'm changing my mind. At first, I thought he's going to make it crash and burn through probably adding some paid service, which probably will happen if he buys it. But with Tesla stock kind of taking a nosedive, are people still certain this deal is going to go through? Because I'm not sure Elon actually has the money to buy Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I touched upon this a little bit on the last episode of Doomed with Lance from the Surfs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a piece coming out in Mashable tomorrow that touches a little bit in a more summarized fashion, just to give people, you know, a few reasons why they shouldn't be freaking out about Elon Musk yet. My overwhelming look on this, and again, I said this on Tuesday on the stream, is that I think everyone's giving him too much credit in terms of what he can do. He is through and through shown himself to be nothing but a hype man.
No,
that's
clearly
all he is. He boasts that he's or at least Tesla in their bio of him boasts that he's a founder of Tesla. That's not true. He's not a Tesla founder. He always brings up, you know, how his companies, SpaceX, for example, how he put so much money into these and that these are, you know, his babies. And then he'll go out and say how, you know, we should end government subsidies when his companies, specifically one like SpaceX, which is not bringing in anything like Tesla is, for example, they are fully taking billions in government subsidies over the years, billions of dollars. In fact, you know, would SpaceX be where it was without NASA's investment in them? I would highly doubt it. You know, and then you have all the different little PR stunts he's pulled over the years, like him claiming that, you know, he would donate to the UN's World Hunger Program if they sent him the details on how to spend $6 billion. And then they did that, and he ghosted them, never donated the money to them, even though he said he would. This guy is all hype, all talk. Now, I'm not saying he will not buy Twitter. I don't ever pretend to know something that I don't. There's simply, you know, you can guess and maybe you'll be right with your guess, but there's simply no way to really know what he's planning right now because, I mean, he can, you know, he's the world's richest man on paper. So he could certainly, I'm sure, find at least a few investors to actually buy it. If he really wanted to do that, I'm sure he could do it. I don't know if he really wants to do it. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't. But, you know, if he did buy it, as is the current plan, if that all goes through as stated, you know, will he want to tank his own business? Because it's already, just him wanting to buy it is already tanking Tesla stock. So will he completely throw everything he has into shambles to simply buy Twitter and fuck with it? My guess would be no, he wouldn't want to do that. If he did buy Twitter, I am living under the assumption that maybe some things will change, but the vast majority of things broadly would likely remain the same. If he wanted it to not go under, if he doesn't give a shit about tanking his own reputation in the business, in the tech biz world, then maybe he won't give a shit, and what will happen was it will die. Twitter will die. Businesses. I'm not saying because liberals will leave. No, I don't give a shit about. What I'm saying is, if you have a website filling up with racial slurs and all other sorts of toxic shit, advertisers will not want to advertise there simply because they don't want their brand next to those words and those what images or whatever. So Twitter will lose money and it will become unsustainable. It doesn't matter if not a single leftist or liberal or even like normie centrist dem leaves. Does not matter at the end of the day. If the content is shit, advertisers will flee. And also, nothing stopping Apple or Google. We've already seen what they do to Parler. When Parler had lackluster content moderation, they said, your app, bye-bye. They'll do the same to Twitter.
Here's the thing that kind of strikes me, and I think I had a slight disagreement when Spocko was on the other day. I think the biggest part of why Elon's scams are working, or I should say working as in tricking people, is the globe's shallow definition and understanding of what smartness and genius is, right? Lots of people think if somebody is smart, if they can regurgitate information somebody else told them, right?
Right.
And I think that's what Elon Musk does a lot of. He hires whatever rocket person, whatever scientist, and he regurgitates information he hears them say. And people deem that intelligence. Or, since he's the son of an emerald mine owner, right? He has a lot of money to throw at various projects. So if one of those projects works out and he gets rich, people say, whoa, he's a visionary, right? I think one of the things to help people not fall for scams anymore, or carnival barkers like Elon, is we have to have a better understanding what actually true genius is and what intelligence is, and not recall intelligence or whatever like that. And that's kind of one of the keys, because even Spocko fell for it, right? He's being able to chat up a storm. Elon is an average intelligence person, just like me, like most people.
I think he is the personification of fake it till you make it, honestly. I mean, and it's worked out for him great. I mean, someone in the chat just said right now, just like speaking out loud to the chat. Oh my, where is that? Hold on, I want to read it verbatim here. LOL. Oh, this is Sasha. LOL. I'm not saying anything about you whatsoever. A lot of people, I would say the vast majority of the world's population, think this is true. It's not. Sasha posted in the live chat, LOL, OMG. Elon didn't even come up with Tesla. Fake it till you make it. The dude has convinced people that he's the genius founder of this EV company. He is not. It was founded by two individuals a year before he got involved, and then years before he even became the CEO, and then even years before he became the owner of the company. I mean, the guy has convinced people it was his idea when he basically just bought what was already set up for him and slapped his face on it. I mean, that's it. And I mean, SpaceX is, without the billions in dollars from the government, what the fuck is SpaceX? I mean, and this is for every private space company. That's why I think private space operations are such bullshit, right? Like, because it's all being buoyed by NASA. None of these private space companies are doing anything without NASA.
They're just leeching. They're just leeching off of NASA's work.
They're not doing a single thing without NASA. So the idea, and it's Obama's sort of, that's where that all began under Obama. That's his, I don't know. I mean,
and since I'm a bit of a science nerd, I'm going to this is going to shock people, right? Elon Musk has no plans to ever go to Mars or even the moon. It's all a gimmick. Because if anybody understands the physics of it, if I was going to set up a system where people can go back and forward from Mars to Earth, the infrastructure investment alone, no businessman on Earth can afford it. They would not put up the money for it. We're talking trillions of dollars to set up that infrastructure. The whole rocket thing is a scam. It is just so people can go low orbit and do some goofy rich people shit.
All right.
They do not have, if they were serious about it, it would cost them, it would be generations worth of money to set that up.
Right.
And
I mean, it's all like all of his companies too. Like, I mean, Tesla is super overvalued. I'm sorry. They're not worth what the stock is worth.
Completely overvalued.
And I think, I mean, we're seeing it now with the Twitter thing. I think this might be, and I'm not gonna, this is just me thinking. I have no way of predicting this for real, but from my own personal opinion is that I think we're seeing the beginning of maybe that correction, honestly. And
well, I'm going to jump off now because you have a lot of great callers and I don't want to suck up their time.
Oh, we've been talking for a while. This always happens. You're so good, man. You get me. You string me along, and before you know it, I'm talking with you for 20 minutes. Didn't realize. Have a great night, Dave.
Same to you, man.
Cameron messaged me. Matt, stay awake. I have a mining update. Cameron, call in. Let me call you right back. Call me. Let me take Cameron's call just so I can hear his mining update. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi.
Oh my God.
This is Cameron Robson.
Cameron Robson, great to hear from you. I look forward to your calls every week. You seem to be I don't know. Echoing a little bit of Steve Jobsian flair right there, or what's her face from Theranos? What's her name again? I'm having a mental block. Elizabeth Holmes.
Thank you, Matt. I wanted to. That's sort of where we were going to be. No, I'm just kidding. I've always wanted to try that out. What I came to
I would say you did it good. You did it good.
Pardon?
I don't think you got as deep as her, but you did pretty good.
No, I have a very high-pitched voice. I've been realizing that since I've started calling into your show.
So how's the mining going?
Sorry?
How's the mining going?
I can't hear you. Speak up.
How's the mining going?
Oh, the mining. Oh, everything's operational. It's not exactly what I wanted to call in about, though. You see, a couple calls ago, it wasn't Dave, I forget who it was, you were mentioning that, it might have been Oonga Boonga. Anyway, that's an in-joke for the chat. You mentioned you wanted to hear something new.
Right.
Well, I've got something new for you.
Oh, what do you got?
I'm a very wealthy man. I'm a crypto man. And with my vast wealth, I've done something that no other millions of billionaire has done in recent weeks.
What is that?
In tech company.
Who'd you buy?
Google.
You are the new owner of Google.
Yes, I purchased Google, and according to what I understand about what Google is, That means that I own YouTube.
Yeah,
And
that
that
would
means
be
that I own you.
that. that would
So
be the case, I guess, right? Yes.
I just wanted to deliver. And you know what? I'll bring
How
up the
rich,
contract.
Cameron? How rich are you? Because Elon Musk, again, on paper, is the world's richest man, and even he
Yeah.
would not have. I mean, he doesn't even have enough right now to buy Twitter by himself. He would have nowhere close to buying Google. That's why he's not going after Google. Are you saying you are more wealthy than Elon Musk with your crypto riches?
Well, let's just say it's. I was very successful at managing the funds of a certain former president's son-in-law who represented the funds of a certain uh, um, guy who put people in duffel bags. And
Well, so
through that,
so I didn't know that Hunter Biden was getting that much money from Ukraine.
I didn't even mention his contributions to the fund.
Of course, you were talking. That was my attempt at a joke, but you turned it around on me. Very clever.
No, you're an
talking.
excellent. This is an Abbott and Costello sort of routine.
You're talking about Jared Kushner, obviously.
Hey, wait,
and,
can
and
I
the
expose
Saudi.
something to the people who are watching this show? That
Yes,
in
go
real
ahead.
life, Matt Binder actually is like, when I'm talking to him now, he's in this green room. So like everything you're seeing now, he's in a different room. So it's been pre-recorded.
Okay, right.
But I wanted to get
I'm
to
a
I just
hologram.
wanted to prove by reading a little bit of my contract.
Oh, go
the
ahead.
Google contract that I just signed, that tells me how. Let me bring it up. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it says here. Yes, I have acquired 100% ownership of Glue. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Google.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Let's see here.
Who are the founders on that? I'm assuming they'd have to sign off too. Is it Sergey
I can't read
Brin?
the names. I don't know how to pronounce these names. But apparently,
Is one Larry? Do you see a Larry somewhere?
no, it's a lot of X's, and question marks. Yeah, no, I think I just bought a company that owns a proprietary technology to turn seagulls into glue.
Oh no.
That sucks. That's
Oh
no good.
no. Think about it this way. How can seagull glue benefit the mine, the crypto mine?
We could reinforce the walls. The walls
There
of
you
mines
go.
could be reinforced with glue.
There you go. There you go. And less children will.
Well, they'll be stuck to the wall. They'll probably die there too. Mm. Wait, can I tell you one more thing?
Go ahead.
While I was in Silicon Valley, and I'm sorry that I didn't drop down to Hollywood, the Hollywood Hills, to visit you and give you a.
I'm a
drop.
I'm a Hollywood man now. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I assume you're one of these East Coast liberals, but I was in one of the, the Silicon Valley like places where it's like an incubator of like a bunch of like young minds living together in like one space, and they're like there and they're like coming up and working together, like brainstorming, coming up with new tech, new ideas, like Steve Jobs. And it was such a great place. They were such nice folks. All the walls were covered in like this like real authentic street art, and there was like this newspaper on the windows that gave it like this really cool like ambient effect. And
Let me see again. Am I back here? Am I on? I don't know. Where are you guys watching me? Is it yet another stream or am I in the same stream? Let's see what happens here. Let's see what goes on. I think it's a YouTube issue because my internet is fine. I'm able to get onto other websites. Skype was still working. I should be back. Let's see what's going on here. All right, Cameron's calling back in. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, you hear me?
yeah,
I think that this was I want to say this was just a YouTube issue because immediately after I lost you, I got booted off of YouTube and I checked my internet and went on other websites to see what was going on and everything was working except I couldn't get back onto YouTube. So my assumption is you
yeah,
are onto
yeah,
something here. You might have bought the wrong
yeah.
company, but you were sharing something that they did not want the rest of the world to know.
Oh shit! Wait, no, is this gonna be like that new Batman movie that I just watched yesterday on HBO?
By the way, I do want to say Robert Pattinson might be the best Batman. I really enjoyed that movie.
Robin Pattinson. I've been on board with that guy like since the start. Like you see him and he's in that Cronenberg movie and everything.
Right. Yeah. You knew that guy was gonna be good when you saw him in Twilight, right?
Well, I did watch Twilight like years after it came out, like, but still like years ago. I don't know how old those movies are. And I was
Very-
like, this is actually bomb as shit. I love this.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't think it was so good, but hey, to each its own.
Well, I was probably,
Yeah.
I was having a good time. Other than,
So you were saying I don't remember what you were saying actually. What was it that you were talking about that Google didn't like? This was you discovered you bought the wrong company, but there's still something.
I was describing the sort of incubator. Like you ever seen that show Silicon Valley?
I have, yes.
They all live in a house. It was like one of those deals,
Right.
and it was great. Like it was authentic graffiti all over the walls, newspaper glued to the windows. Guy in the back room, he's like mixing chemicals and stuff. He's doing stuff with test tubes. He's probably out there like coming out with new medicines, new sciences to cure like different cancers. And this place, you could tell they were committed to tech and stuff because I'd walk in there one day, there'd be a whole stack of brand new TVs, like flat screens or something.
Oh, wait, I
You
just
walk
realized you're
in,
not even up on the thing anymore. Give me 1 second. Oh, there, you're back on the screen. Okay, continue.
people weren't looking at me for that whole entire time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You better watch out. I might have more YouTube powers than you suspect.
That's true, right? You might be able to show me by breaking into my stream and putting you up on the feed yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Yeah, sure. Um, and
ahead, go
like,
ahead.
you go there. There's like a bunch of TVs. There's a bunch of guys hanging out on a couch. They're all really interested in like these little glass tubes they have. And then you walk in there. Next day, all the TVs are gone. Now it's a stack of PlayStations, and there's a bunch of different dudes. Maybe some of them are like asleep for some reason. They're very much asleep, and maybe they're there's like too busy thinking of new concepts. So there's like trash everywhere, and like different debris.
Right. Okay. I'm not following at all with what you're talking about right
I'm not going to spread this isn't gonna work. I thought this was gonna work. I was trying to. I'm describing a trap house.
Oh, okay. I might have got that before the stream went off, but I think my equilibrium is a little bit thrown
Yeah,
off.
well, this is the post show.
Right. This is.
So I feel like I can dispense with the bit and be a little bit more open.
Right, this is the post show. Right, we're talking about. This is the show where we talk about what happened in the post show. So there you go.
Yeah. What was with all those callers, huh?
Right. Well, I have no
Remember
idea.
that?
Right. Oh, I remember all those callers. They're very interesting. There was this one guy at the very end. You might have caught him, Cameron Robson.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. He bought Google. He thought you heard that part, and the guy realized he bought the wrong company. What a
What a
dunce.
jackass.
All right, Cameron.
We gotta keep the mystery a little bit. We can't let it.
Right.
Anyway, I'll see you in at Santa Monica Boulevard.
We'll see you there too. I like the turtleneck. Very stylish.
Thank you.
Have a great
From
night.
Mark's Work Warehouse.
Have a good night.
Night.
I feel bad because he definitely had it going, and the stream ruined it. But it was good nonetheless. Always enjoy Cameron's calls. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. So,
Are you outside a speakeasy, my friend?
yeah, same spot.
I hear
I'm
like
gonna
the,
walk away from a
I hear
bit.
like the jazz music in the background, and it's the kind of jazz music that like you go like this to. You know what I'm talking about?
It's a really chill cafe, and then like they come every Thursday, play a lot of like, jazz music. They have different things like at least like every day at least, so it's pretty cool. But I wanted to like say refer one thing to Dave from Jamaica. Um, yeah, when I go on my dating profile, I put I don't really put my income. I put broke scrub, business broke scrub, everything
Ah.
broke.
So if
So
there's interest in you, it'll be for who you are and not your money. Mm.
because I always start off like, "Hey, hello, I'm a broke scrub. How are you?"
Very
But
clever.
anyway,
Very clever. No scammer's gonna waste any time on you from the get go. I like that.
scamming here, no scamming here. But you had my sister from last weekend tell you about everything that was happening in Nigeria. Like, you see, you please, like all this stuff that's happening. They tell you, we're making money with crypto. Like, no, you're not. There's only specific people that are doing it. And then when it comes to other people trying to buy their stuff, buy their sanayam, buy their gusi, buy their vegetables and other stuff on the marketplace, it's all. Let me stop the accent. But it's just
I mean,
you're just not gonna do
I
that.
don't even know whose accent you're doing because the caller didn't even have that accent.
Oh no, she
You're
did,
doing like
she did.
you're
She
doing like
did
an
have it, but then
imaginary person.
no, I'm doing the stereotypical Nigerian accent.
Right.
But like, you just see like how like they're not doing like all this. There's only specific people that are like trading crypto, and they're doing it because they are trying to make money off it. But then like they're doing it for because one thing that's she might not have said nobody in Nigeria really trusts the government. The government's shit. If people want to bitch about the government in the United States, look at other countries before you start talking about like the government here. It is a dog shit government in other places. Like, oh my god. But aside from that, I want to talk about crypto when it concerns uh, the UFC, basically.
Oh yes,
Many
please. Let's do this. Let's do this.
so many people probably know by now one of like the biggest sponsors of the UFC nowadays is crypto.com. It's like labeled right in on
Hell,
all their
they
kits.
bought the Staples Center. Well, they didn't buy it. They bought the naming rights to the Staples Center.
And I will never call it crypto.com stadium.
Yeah.
It will forever be called Staples.
called Scam Arena.
Actually, that might be a better name. Everyone just call it Scam Arena for now.
Right. The Ponzi Palace.
Ponzi Palace. The name of the game is hey, crypto is a Ponzi scheme. We're only trying to make our money.
Hey, did you see the game yesterday at the Pyramid? I mean, literally, just keep. I can keep going.
No, but okay, so they became like a very like huge sponsor in the UFC, and they basically paid fighter bonuses. But the way that deal was that I think the UFC. I'm not sure. You can't really quote me on it totally, but I know one half of it. That I know that they did pay the UFC to become a sponsor in it, and that the bonus money that fighters win, basically sometimes they win like this performance bonus or fight of the night bonus, depending on what they do. So that it comes extra on their fight money and their show money. So basically, the fighters do get a payout from that sponsor. But you know what that payout is?
It's
Just
shit.
guess.
Not
Not even shit. Not even shit, Matt. Just guess what the bonus is.
the bonus for what? I know there's different types of bonuses. Bonus for what? For winning? What are you talking about?
Yeah, basically they would get a bonus for winning, but they get a specific bonus from crypto because
Oh, a bonus from crypto.
crypto.com.
I don't even. I mean, I know like what fight of the night gets like what 5,000, 10,000, something like that, right? And then certain things, you get like a $5,000 to $10,000 bonus or something like that, right? I'm not, I follow along every now and then based on something that interests me, but I'm more of a pro wrestling guy, and they don't get bonuses for shit. But go ahead. What is that?
They get paid, but they get paid in Bitcoin.
But what is the bonus though? Like literally, they don't get anything extra.
We don't know what the specific bonus number is, but they do get paid that specific. I know aside from all the other bonuses that have been there and slated for a while, the crypto.com pay bonus isn't Bitcoin. It isn't that arbitrary, volatile currency that jumps up and down. So whatever your bonus that night is, it's whatever it is. And it can just oscillate all over the place. And knowing that not many people know how crypto is operated, or how like not many people have crypto wallets, how the fuck are fighters supposed to like just take this money in like crypto?
Right.
And then like on top of that, you have fees and other stuff. There's something going on with I remember bringing up the last time I talked about the UFC about Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight champion, and how like he had the fight of his life that last time, because he was on his last fight of the contract. He had the belt, and like everyone was kind of like trying to like push him out, and all he wanted to do was box Tyson Fury. And even though people are like, "Oh yeah, MMA fighting and boxing is not that great," it's like whatever. Just let him do what he needs to do. Let him make his money. Period. But no, you don't have people. My headphones died.
What? Yeah, you sound fine to me.
Oh, okay. One of the headphones died. But anyway.
No, I mean that's something. I've been meaning to actually do a doomed episode of about UFC, because there's a lot of shady far right stuff going on in the UFC, in MMA in general, especially connected to the leader of Chechnya, and I've been wanting to do an episode on that. But also, there's clearly stuff going on with UFC in the crypto space, so that could be a scam economy episode too. You could do a whole entire podcast series just on the sports world getting into the crypto bullshit. So I'll be doing episodes on that, but that's definitely a lot to get into. So thanks for the call though.
Wait, hold on. But like just a few more things. I wanted to
a few more,
off.
Not just one more. Ooh, you have a whole list.
Just a few more things. Just wanted to finish off that Francis Ngannou point, that basically like he was potentially going to get a deal for $1 million with Coinbase, another crypto place, but like I think they were going to officially give him $1 million to be a sponsor.
Who is that?
But then he had to deal with the crypto.com, because the UFC is kind of weird that you have to literally, sponsors that you want on your kit needs to go do the company itself. So you're limited on what sponsors you can get, and that it might need to be an outside sponsor, but then you can't have a competing crypto place as a sponsor for the UFC, but then like literally be champion promoting another like crypto place at the same time on outside. So it looks very weird, and they basically lost him $1 million, and he's gonna get paid in some arbitrary coins that's gonna fluctuate all over the place. That's the shit. And to bring one more that's more favored towards Doom, this last point right here, I've seen the movie Cuties. It is a coming of age story about a young Sierra Leone girl, and that if you were to see the marketing in French versus the American marketing, it is dog water how Netflix like advertise that thing in America. It is holy shit, it is night and day.
You know what though? I still think that I know. Oh, I didn't put you up on the screen, and you're there. My bad. I will say that I'm sure that didn't help, but I don't think that I don't think if they didn't mess up that, I don't think that would have been any different, honestly.
Yeah, but the thing is that the problem is that what they market, the way I specifically tell you that the marketing is truly different, because they advertise it as a twerk team, which is very weird for young girls in America. But then like in the French one, they market it as literally a girl growing up in a age of like just trying to find friends, trying to like fit in and all this other stuff. And
Right,
then you
so
have
you're
her
saying-
African background.
Right. So what you're saying is in France they marketed it as a coming of age film, and
Yeah.
in the States they market it as like a fictional dance moms that show on TLC or whatever.
Yeah, and then yeah, and that's the one thing I hate the most is that I heard so many people bitch about like cuties and others. Trust me, the movie's not savory, but then like it is a coming of age story in basically a modern day times. However, you why are you bitching about cuties when you have Dance Mom on TLC and no one really gives a fuck? No one honestly gives a fuck about all these other shows that parade little girls.
Honestly, I don't even think. I don't even think. I mean, my partner was into Dance Moms for a while, so I would watch it with her, and that one was like, kind of like just the thing with that one is how terrible the moms are, and how it's clear they're like forcing the kids to do it. The really gross ones that I didn't even like, and my partner luckily has no interest in it. Are like the ones with like the beauty competitions with the little kids.
Oh,
That one
yeah.
is like, yeah, that's
Yep.
that's. But I mean, that's what that movie's doing. It's shining a light on those scenes, and it's like it was a good movie. I thought it was well made, but at the same time, very forgettable. Like nothing. Like I only like I would have been a movie I never again thought of after seeing it once, if it wasn't for like the culture war that surrounded it.
For me, I remember it more because one, I'm Nigerian, so I'm Nigerian American. I grew up here, and I could understand that feeling of being kind of like different from everybody else and like outside and how your culture kind of conflicts. She might be Muslim, I might be Christian, but like there's very similar, and she might be Sierra Leone, I might be Nigerian. But like, there's a lot of things that like correlate and are similar within our cultures. So like seeing that, like, hey, they had to pray, like the mom thought she was possessed, and they had to like pray for her, and they pray for her, and they put water all over her, like she wearing a white gown, and like they spray her down with water, and they pray. But then they had a priest, I don't know what you call it in like Islam, but then like they had the priest come in, and he was like, this girl's not possessed. What's wrong with you guys? She's just a little girl. And then like they had the one scene where it was like it was symbolic. It was actually very symbolic in like how like I'm not gonna really get into the details, but they had the white thing inside the closet. I'm not sure if you remember it. And then like it got red, and then like yeah, from everyone could inference from that point. But then like she basically became her mom was like, oh, you became a woman today. It was something that she thought in her mind, and then all of a sudden it happened in real life. And then when her mom saw herself, she was like, "You became a woman." And I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird," but then it's symbolic in a different way. Like, hey, yeah, she's growing up.
Right.
She's
I mean, I
becoming
think.
older.
I mean, it's also interesting to see who got outraged over these. Like, who gets outraged over these cultural war things? It's usually a bunch of like, middle America, WASP types, right? I mean, because they don't have any. First of all, when their children are doing this stuff, they don't know anything about it because they're probably terrible parents. And then on top of that, they have no understanding or even knowledge of other cultures and what's going on in these other cultures, and how a movie like any of those movies, like the movie we were just mentioning, how that movie can actually legitimately show how it is growing up to be a young black Muslim girl.
hmm And that was like the movie director. That was kind of her autobiography, which
Yes,
people don't know.
yes, yeah. No, yeah.
Autobiography, technically. So it was the story. Even though, they were complaining that why are you using little girls so that you can use it was like the girls were fine with this. Their parents were fine with it, and it's in a different setting altogether from you. So why are you bitching about this? They even bitching about like a Japanese game show where they send little kids to the market. They send them
Yeah.
to
I
like
mean,
the
they
marketplace.
also don't believe that children are smart and have understanding and agency. Like, we're not talking about, they didn't send like 3-year-old kids who don't understand the source material. Like, these were girls who clearly understood the script and the point of the movie. That's how they were able to act in it and be so good in the role, because they actually understood what they were portraying. And they weren't like, they didn't think they were making a movie that made everything look great and like promoted it. You know what I mean? Like, they understood what they were trying to do with that movie, which is why it was a solid film.
It was like I'm kind of like at this like for me, I just got really, really angry when like I just heard a whole bunch of people when it came to more of like her cultural background because it was more reminiscent from my side and stuff. I got angry when people just weren't trying to even fucking listen, and they were just being so ignorant in their understanding of stuff,
There
and
was
it felt kind of disgusting.
yeah, there was a great YouTube video. I don't remember who exactly, but it's two black guys who run this YouTube channel, and
I'm gonna preach.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, and they talk
They
about
they
their
sussy
experience.
wussy, but yeah.
They talk about their experience, like choreographing in that world, like they worked in that world, and they were like, we watched the movie, and it is a great critique of what we saw, and we were like uncomfortable with what we saw when we were working there, and like the movie critiques it great, like it does its job perfectly. And like again, you got two guys who probably understand the black girl character's portrayal even more than anyone else, and then also they specifically understand that world, that culture, like the dance culture in that in that age group, and they broke it down. I mean, it's clear who's trying to create some sort of culture war outrage, and who is just actually critiquing. And at this point, we know where it led. It led to you could draw a direct line from that and this new anti-LGBT, everyone's a groomer outrage on the right now. There's a direct line drawn from that to this. That was the test. That was putting a little something out there to see how far we could take it. It was a great success. And now here we are, where literally LGBTQ people are being called groomers for being LGBTQ.
Yeah. And then last point, just bringing it back home, just like slightly to crypto, but to more to do about Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter and acquiring it. Hopefully the FCC doesn't, or maybe does. I don't really care about Twitter. I said I don't have an account or whatnot. But like, so the funny thing, like I hate that, like you said, he takes credit for a lot of shit that he doesn't do. Basically, I said in the chat that he is Tony Stark syndrome, where like people think, oh, he's like this money, like he's this billionaire, amazing science, but he has no science back. Fuck, like barely, nothing really. It ain't helping because one of the things he's.
I mean, Tony Stark, for good or bad, it's mostly bad. He did actually create stuff. Like he really actually was very smart. The character is a genius, and he actually builds the stuff himself. Not the case here.
Because that's the same thing. Like if you ever seen Jordan and Kleppa go out into like the Trump rallies, they thought Trump was kind of like this Tony Stark figure. So it's basically like they're doing the same thing with Elon. So it's like you could kind of see the bullshit, and he's like he's eating it up, and he's always trying to go like, oh, I'm smart and whatnot. How the fuck you're so smart that like when New York, I think New York City, or I think he sent ventilators to somewhere. They needed ventilators. He sent respirators. He slapped a Tesla logo on it, and then like when they discovered it wasn't what they needed for the COVID outbreak, they was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like this dude fucks up all over the place, and people just accept it. But then like one thing he said about like him buying Twitter is that he wanted to get rid of all the bots, all the spammers and whatnot, but also make the code open source. And people say, "Yeah, make it open source." However,
but the conservatives saying that don't even know what it is. Like, what do they think they're gonna see in there? Do you think like the code's gonna be? They think this is really probably what they think, that Elon Musk makes the code open source, and in there they will find shadow ban list, and it'll list all their faves. That's not how this shit works. Like, I don't know what they're expecting to see. They're not gonna understand anything inside of it. I mean, I don't know what they think they're gonna get out of it.
yeah, and the thing is, if you make your code like there's benefits to making your stuff open source, like the Linux project, where like you get a new branch, you get people building onto it, you get people like making it better, depending on the project. However, making Twitter open source could lead to a lot of problems where like you have those people that you're trying to kick off the platform know how to avoid every band that you give them, know how to spin even harder, create even better bots. It's the problem that you have with gaming, where like they hide their source code, but then if it gets released, holy shit, you get a lot of bots and spam. It's happening in a game I play, TF2 again. You have so many bots, so many things, and then you basically Valve had to like you have so many people like use their bots to say bad words all over the place.
Set up a WordPress blog. Don't have a single person read it. Never promote it. Somehow, hundreds of spam bots will find the comment section.
Mm-hmm. And you just want to give them your source code. That's fucking ridiculous. Period. Like it got so bad in TF2 that they basically had to they had to make all like free accounts unable to talk in the game. But then, as you know, there's botters getting around that type of shit. Anyway, but that's it for me. Don't want to take up too much time on people's hands.
Oh no, you only had roughly 50 talking points. Don't want to take up. No, I enjoyed the talk. I enjoyed the talk.
Stuff I wasn't able to say last week and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't want to. You're only standing outside the speakeasy for 20 minutes. I mean. Enjoy. I am. You made me coughing. You make me cough. You're making me lose my. Have a great night, my friend. Always enjoy when you call in.
Dude. All right, peace, man.
Peace. Oh boy, a lot of calls. I was gonna end early, but I was gonna end on time today because I'm feeling a little bit. It's been a long couple of weeks. A lot of things going on, and let me let you guys know all this. Let me take this call. Whoa, what's going on here? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Kowalski.
Kowalski, what are you doing there? What are you doing here? Oh my God, you're outside in the field this late at night?
Well, I'm trying to flip my phone screen around so you guys can see what I'm doing.
I see it. I see it.
I get it to move now.
No, I saw
Wait,
it. I saw
dang it.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Yeah, I'm planting.
Is it 10:40 your time?
Yeah.
What are you doing this late? Is there a reason? Is this a specific type of crop that needs to be tended to in the middle of the night?
No, there is rain in the forecast, and you can't plant if it's raining.
Oh, okay. I know nothing, man. I don't even have a little 1x1 square foot of anything in terms of to plant in. So I know nothing. But that's very interesting. You're outside and so what would you like to talk about, my friend?
Well, it was actually going to be about the whole Elon Musk Twitter debacle, but I'm going to bring it back to crypto.
Oh, let's do it.
So I kind of view him buying Twitter as kind of smart if you're going to use it to when people are going to do pump and dumps on crypto. Because if I'm not mistaken, basically if you own Twitter, you have the source, you're the one that gets to manage all the data, you could conceivably be able to mine everybody's private DMs for keywords and phrases. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to manipulate it. And as far as being able to track more people in relation to like Tesla and stuff, I feel like he could easily tell the board this is just another way to mine data. And it would be a pretty good cash flow if you can find a way to monetize like some sort of premium features. Because I know, oh God, this is from 2012. I remember everybody was making fun of Newt Gingrich for having a shit ton of bots for his Twitter account.
Right.
Because everybody in the Republican Party remembered that Obama had, this big offensive with using social media. And Newt Gingrich spent just all this money buying bots to pump up his Twitter handle. And I mean, if you could essentially accomplish the same thing by throwing people's tweets if you paid for it in front of like actual human beings, I mean, I feel like some people would actually pay for that.
Yeah, I think you're
so
right.
it would be good cash flow if you actually could do that. And that's something that I think Musk desperately needs, because either A, the IRS is going to come after him at some point for, you just continue to make money off debt. There appears to be a problem here. So
I'm not sure if I misunderstood you, but just to be clear, Elon Musk wouldn't be sharing like the what he wants to make open source is the algorithm, so that wouldn't include like any specific data. Just basically, he's saying he wants to.
Well, I don't think he's going to go open source with it, though. Is the thing,
right?
Like,
That's just his claim.
How many times has Elon Musk just said shit to say shit to get people talking?
Right,
like,
that's what I
it.
said.
That's all he's doing.
Yeah, he's all talk. He's got no idea what he's doing. I mean, yeah.
But as far as like that, and I've been reading a lot of reports that show that borrowing money is about to get a whole lot harder, because the reserve is probably going to start increasing rates soon as a means to combat inflation. And with baby boomers retiring en masse right now, there's going to be less money in people's retirement funds actually in the markets to invest in things. So like, actual capital investments on the stock market might dip as people are pulling money out for their retirement funds. Right. So, I mean, like, that would be another big reason why somebody like him, who is solely reliant on massive amounts of, like, investment, might want to actually start having something that's cash flow. And conceivably, there's not really going to be any new big social media companies anytime soon. So the resiliency of Twitter as like a brand is probably a lot sturdier than people think. I mean, they already have millions of people on it, and I mean, they could kill it, but you're not going to build a new one.
Twitter. Let's put it this way: Twitter was always the most vulnerable to something like this. It just doesn't make the money that Facebook and YouTube, Google does. Honestly, it just doesn't. TikTok is not even in this category because TikTok's parent company ByteDance is in a much better position than Twitter even is as well. Twitter was always vulnerable to something like this. Honestly, it's not that big of a company when compared. I mean, it's obviously a huge company. But compared to the big tech companies that it is thrown into the mix with, it was never at the stature of those other companies. Like it's certainly no Apple or Microsoft. It's not a Facebook. It's certainly not an Amazon, not a Google, YouTube, Instagram. That's all. Instagram's Facebook as well. I mentioned TikTok. I mean, it was always the odd platform out, so to say, when you name all these big tech companies.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. It's not like Facebook, who actually has like a whole lot of info on everybody. I mean, and they incidentally caused a genocide, and they weren't even trying.
Facebook makes a lot of ad revenue. They sell a lot of ads. Facebook, it literally has a network much like Google Ads, which a lot of people use. Twitter has never been able to. I mean, they finally got it down for their platform. Like there was a while they weren't making much at all from ads, but they finally figured it out and were making decent revenue for Twitter. But it still never reached the levels of Facebook or Google. They just never got the ad thing down to the same level as all those other tech companies we just mentioned.
That's true. But yeah, my whole view on it was just he could easily be able to mine it for any info on possibly doing pump and dumps with cryptocurrency, and as just a cynical means of cash flow to try to make some numbers work. That, and I mean, like, if Tesla is truly valued, which I mean it is, Ford just surpassed them in EV tech, and GM's not far behind. And once Toyota really gets into the game, they're screwed. Their brand is done.
I mean, honestly, so, all one of these companies have to do is make an insanely trendy yet insanely affordable model of EV car. And then there you
Well,
go.
they've already
It's-
done that with the F-150. By the time you factored in the subsidies and like a base model, you could get a brand new electric F-150 for like, I want to say it was like 24 grand. I mean, you're not gonna beat that.
I say get cheaper. I say get cheaper.
But I mean, like even the thing though with like Ford and GM and Toyota, the big automakers, they have supply chains and you can actually get parts and equipment for them. Tesla doesn't. Like if it breaks down, you're screwed. You basically have to get a new car. It's like a shitty giant iPhone.
I'm looking at the Kia Rio sedan right now. It's not an EV, but this is a cheap model of car. We're talking less than 17K. We got to get low for these cars.
Yeah.
And then I think the first model of EV car to do that is gonna just Tesla's gonna have trouble. Tesla's gonna have problems then.
Yeah, but that was just my 2 cents with that, and I wanted to show everybody this kick-ass planter. So,
it is crazy.
This is my office.
I'm telling you, I obviously don't have any clue about farming equipment, but when people think about farming equipment, I don't think they envision, what is that, 2 computer screens?
This is a planter monitor. This is telling me what each row unit is doing.
Jesus Christ.
Population-wise, keeping my vacuum rate going and seed spacing. Each one of those boxes holds seed, pretty standard, and the tanks on the side of the tractor has fertilizer in it. So,
how dark is it out there? It looks like it's really dark. Oh my God! I was waiting. Honestly, I was waiting for you to turn those lights back on, and there to be a serial killer standing right in front of that light.
Oh, he would have been screwed. This thing is way bigger than a person.
For the fear factor, I'm just talking visually. I'm not meaning. Okay.
It is actually a bit darker than normal because we barely missed a thunderstorm. I'm a little disappointed because, like, we really need the rain. We are supposed to have about 8 inches of rain at this point in the year. We have 2.
Ooh.
So,
how are things looking for that dystopian scenario you laid out for me? Was it last week or the week before?
I think it was the week before. It hasn't really improved. The U.S. is doing okay, but the Southwest drought, California is a little worse than a lot of people were thinking 2 weeks ago. Like, California is probably the most important state in the country when it comes to like food production. So, like, if anything bad happens there, it has ripple effects around the world. But like, the Midwest is doing okay. The western half, which is a little less productive, it's still dry and a bit cold. The eastern half has enough moisture, but it's just precarious. That and the fertilizer situation hasn't changed. So,
all right. So keep me updated with that, because I definitely, if it gets to that point where you think it's, we talked about this, where you think it's worth warning people about what could possibly happen, I definitely want to do that.
Oh yeah, I'll keep you informed, and hopefully somebody figures something out with this. I'm actually really disappointed because it looks like the USDA didn't really fight the energy department all that hard, because the U.S. could easily add a lot of grain to the international market if we cut back on ethanol. And it looks like we're doubling down on ethanol to try to keep energy prices down, which, I don't know, like, it just, like, even if you're being cynical about it, it just seems like you should try to avoid a global famine, even if it might piss a few people off in the suburbs with higher gas prices. I don't know. I feel like that's where my morals are at, but
yeah. All right, Kowalski. Have a great night. Thank you for calling in, first of all, because this is, people in the chat really enjoyed the visuals here. This is honestly, I never thought I would say this watching someone in a tractor on a farm, but this is quite honestly riveting.
And just remember, I don't have to steer. this steers.
What?
So
Wait, so what do you do? You're sitting there?
I'm sitting here. I'm monitoring all of my monitors. I'm making sure the liquid system's working, the air system's working.
Whoa. Wait a minute, Kowalski. I was told that the genius billionaire Elon Musk is the first person to get a self-driving, quote unquote, vehicle on the road. Are my eyes deceiving me?
This tech has existed for probably 20 years. I can drive accurately within about a half an inch. And just with my experience troubleshooting this, there will never be self-driving vehicles within the next 50 years. It would kill thousands a day.
So if like someone was to dart in front of that right now, it wouldn't stop?
If I didn't stop it, no.
Okay.
You could potentially like rig up a LiDAR system, but I mean, water damage, like anything. The big issue is that like it will just start tripping so many sensors because like you got to figure when you're coding for all of these redundancies, all of these different scenarios, a deer running out in front of you when you're on a sheet of ice and you know there's like it's snowing. How do you code for all of that? The reality is that a human being has 5 senses. Like if this machine started having like a hydraulic problem, I would feel that. Like you would just sense the vibration. There's no way you're going to be able to get the specific tech to be able to figure this out. Like there's just too many variables. Murphy's Law would just like, it would be an engineer's worst nightmare.
All right.
This thing was brought down by a 10-cent O-ring for 3 days. A 10-cent O-ring. We couldn't fix it because we couldn't find it. So, yeah, no, if anybody tries putting self-driving cars out there, you go complain to your elected officials immediately.
I mean, it's being done. It's being done. I mean, you could look on YouTube right now and see people freaking out about how they tried to do a test run with their vehicle and the vehicle almost ran someone over crossing the street, and they're like having a heart attack that they just stopped the car just in time or something.
Yeah, we figured out self-driving a long time ago. They're called buses and taxis.
Oh, there you go. Have a great night.
Go with humans. Good night.
Have a great night, Kowalski. This is awesome. I love watching this. I could just sit here in silence and watch Kowalski going his route. What time is it? Ooh, it's midnight. It's midnight, and I can't believe how many people are trying to call in right now. Last call. I think this is gonna be the last call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, it's me, Sigil from Nigeria. Once
Hey,
again.
Sigil from Nigeria. Pleasure to hear from you again. What would you like to talk about?
Just like real brief. I don't really have any crypto stuff to talk about this week. I just wanted to let everyone know that there's going to be a protest in Abuja protesting the new amendment that bans cross-dressing to the SSNPA. So there's a need of funds, and you can use real money to donate and not crypto. So the Cash App is Niger Trans Fund. So it's NAIJATRANSFUND, and an organization you can go to as well for more information. Their Instagram has a lot of information. It's TIERS, TIERS, the Initiative for Equal Rights. So yeah, I wanted to let everyone know that there's a need of funds and attention, and
how do they plan on actually acting out on this law? They're gonna literally they're gonna check what gender people, like what sex someone is, and see if it matches the stereotypical wear of what that gender or sex is. What is this, the idea behind this?
Well, okay, so there's a few famous trans people. There's one famous trans person, but there's a few famous gender non-conforming people. And basically, it's kind of like they already tried to arrest the one a few years ago because she had like a birthday party that they didn't want her to have or something. Anyway, um, so it's basically to, but she's like I think too rich to be actually prosecuted. Like she brags every day about how she's got like sugar daddies out the wazoos, and I'm pretty sure one of them is like a famous politician who would actually have to vote on the law. So like I think she's fine, but it's basically another way to punish poor people. So like even just a week or so ago, there was an arrest of a few gay men in a state. I don't remember which one. And they said they were having a quote unquote gay wedding. And like, I, I don't believe that at all because gay marriage is already illegal. And like, it just doesn't make sense. Like the police were just making shit up to arrest people, which they do often. So yeah, it's basically the government trying to further just stigmatize and discriminate against poor people, and like rich people wouldn't actually be affected by this. Like if you're trans and your dad is like Dangote or something, who's like the richest man in Africa, like you probably have dual citizenship, just go to the UK, transition, live your life, like. But people who are actually stuck here are the ones who are going to have to suffer.
Right. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the update. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And please feel free to call in anytime. Always love when you call in. Have a great night. Oh wait, it's not a night. It's not night for you, right? What time is it over there?
Yeah. Have a great morning.
Great morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy your breakfast.
Bye. All right. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Sometimes, I feel like I might sound like an old man. Susan, if you want to call in, I'll take your call. I know you've been trying to call in a bunch of times. Probably the person who's been trying the longest, and I keep missing your call. I'll take your call, but sometimes I sit here, and I'm just like taken like by like it just hits me that I just spoke with I forget what he wants me to call him, his nickname. But my friend from Brooklyn, who always calls me outside, he's in Brooklyn. Oso, right? And then Sigil just called me from Nigeria. Kowalski was just farming in Middle America. I mean, it literally sometimes just hits me, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy that I'm able to connect with all you guys. Like, the future, man. I love it. And we don't need no crypto shit to make it happen either, do we? All right. Let me make this happen right now. I just hung up on them by accident. Just wanted to get that out there. Here we go. Taking last call of the day, I think, unless this is super short too. Then maybe I can take another one. Hello.
Hello. Sorry for hanging up the first time. This is Susan calling from Nashville.
Hey, Susan. Thanks for calling. And don't worry, the way my phone system is set up that you have to keep trying to call in. So, eventually you're going to probably not even eventually, you will hang up on me multiple times if you try to call in because it's just how it's going to end up working.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel like I'm really bothering you, but I'm like, I think this is just how it's done. Anyway, congrats on getting so many calls today. My first question was going to be, are you going to open up a second Scam Economy call-in show 2.0 where you call in, get the rest of the people who are trying to call in?
Yeah, I mean, I might have to end up doing that. I mean, what it might have to end up happening is I just literally do more streams. I might just have to do that, honestly.
Yeah, I was wondering. I know that you've been trying to get more people to sign up on your what is it, the
Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah, and if that takes off, will you be doing this more often?
Yes, that is the thing. Yeah, it's if I was younger, if this is my early 20s and I had all the time in the world, I'd be streaming no matter what. But I have 2 kids and other jobs. Sometimes I do other stuff on the side too, pick up random projects and freelance stuff. So like it does become like a time commitment thing where it needs to make sense. If I had 0 patrons, does that mean I wouldn't be streaming at all? No, no. There's a point where I do enjoy this a lot and would still do it for the fun of it. But to do it on a regularly scheduled basis, that's a little bit more difficult to do as a hobby. Do you know what I mean? So if the Patreon grows, without a doubt, I'm not one of those people who, and I'm not pointing at anyone specific. I just, basically, there are obviously huge patrons out there, and good for them, but huge patrons out there that just do content like, it doesn't matter how many patrons they have, they do the same amount of content throughout. I would ramp it up pegged to how many patrons I have, because I would, if more money was flowing in, I'd have more time to dedicate to this, and I would do more streaming. And not just more streaming, I would bring people on board to also help me create more content, more standalone, non-live, actually edited videos, more content in general, quite frankly, more clips, more short social media clips, so that it was easier for people to share stuff, because you guys are used to watching live streams, you enjoy the long form content, but I'm definitely missing out on an audience that does not like to sit down and watch 1.5 to 3 hour long live streams. They would much prefer to get a concise 5-minute video. I'm not reaching those people, quite frankly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. So you heard the man, chat. If you want to see more of this, you got to sign up for the Patreon. Anyway, what I was trying to call about was,
oh no, please,
I've been talking about.
We could keep talking about how more people should give me money.
No. Yes, so obviously.
Continue.
But yes, so I've been calling in a couple of weeks now to talk about Neopets NFTs, where Neopets is the old, virtual pet simulator on the internet that people probably grew up playing. And they've had some failed NFT projects in the past. Last week I called in and said that they had a little bit of a suspicious deal with the marketplace called Quid, Quidd. Before it was just they were selling stickers that are not based on the blockchain. These are just virtual stickers that you would then trade with other people on this website. But predictably, Quid then attempted earlier. So I'm reading from the fan website Jelly Neo earlier yesterday. This was published yesterday at 9 Pacific, and I promise this is going to get juicy at the end. So they had that day announced that they were using the Neopets brand to promote their own in-house cryptocurrency, $Quid, where Quid is in all capitals. So that was their cryptocurrency that they were using the Neopets brand to promote. And the idea was that whenever a Neopets sticker was to be sold on the Quid marketplace, the buyer and seller would be airdropped free $Quid cryptocurrency. And the scheme would be using the Neopets brand to spread the currency and to promote it. Suspiciously, this promotion, non-suspiciously, the promotion would not work in some usual countries like Iran and North Korea, but suspiciously, it would also not include the United States. So it sounds like there's probably some weird law thing that they were worried about. But then, later that same day, yesterday at 1 p.m., the promotion had apparently been canceled by Quid. In the process, Quid has asked Jelly Neo to remove their post talking about the promotion, which is a request that they did not want to honor. So almost immediately, they I don't know who talked to whom, but it was it sounds like an entire poop show.
Wait, what? I'm trying to follow along here. It seemed like this seems very unnecessarily complicated in a way. Can you just run by that last part one more time?
They announced. Okay, so the Quid people announced the promotion, and then later that day canceled the promotion. Right? They canceled it. I assume from backlash, or maybe something went wrong. And they messaged the fan website, "Hey, can you take down your post about the promotion?" And then they didn't. The fan website said no.
Ah, okay. I was a little bit. I guess I lost the.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
I was being confusing.
No. I lost the. Jeez.
There's a lot of. I mean, I was trying not to use too many jargon.
No. It was. Let me ask you this: is there someone, who sort of led the, who's like actually like following this and like actually like putting out something? Like in any like investigation, like how are you finding about this stuff? Just like, is there anyone you're reading in the community or?
Yeah, it was the I'll send you the posts where they is Skype a good way to send it to you? I'll send it to you after this.
Yeah, you can send it to me on Skype, sure.
And I was trying to, because I wanted to see if there was anyone who had a good centralized place where someone was talking about it, and I couldn't find it last time, but maybe I'll look a little bit harder. But I was just using the fan websites that are really I guess invested in making sure Neopets doesn't sink even further down to the depths.
Yes, send me the yeah. I mean, even further. Boy, I don't know how much further I can go. Right. Send me those links. I'm gonna look into maybe even doing an episode on it. And and I would love to even talk with you for the episode to get like a take from like what you've been telling me, like a take from like just to have another longtime Neopets user fan give like their assessment of what went on. I think it could make for a really good episode for sure.
Oh, that would be really fun, especially if you start expanding to NFT talk every single day, 24/7. That's right, guys. Sign up for the Patreon.
Oh, look at that! You're really doing all the good work today, letting my audience know. I don't even have to say anything.
Yeah, I got you, fam. Also, I wanted to say this show has been having birthday vibes for me every single time I call in. The first time, it was my birthday and my sibling's birthday, if you remember, all four of us.
Right.
Last time, your dad's birthday.
Uh-huh.
This time, it's my mom's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom.
Yes. Also, just one completely or slightly unrelated thing. I don't know if you know the YouTube channel Legal Eagle.
Sounds familiar.
He's a real life lawyer, very handsome, infuriatingly
I thought you were gonna say a real life eagle.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh man, I would totally subscribe to that.
Oh, he's got almost 2.3 million subscribers. I don't think you need to promote him on here.
All right, so okay, so all I'm saying is that he has a video regarding NFTs and kind of talking about contract law and NFTs. And I thought that maybe you would find that interesting.
Oh,
maybe
I just
you
saw.
can team up with him if he.
Oh, he had a coffee.
If you want to have an eagle on your show.
He had a CoffeeZilla on. Okay, I gotta get CoffeeZilla on this show if he would be down. He does a great job. Really diving into the blockchain and outing scams, and rug pulls and frauds. I gotta check this video out. Thanks for putting this on my radar. I definitely gotta check this out. CoffeeZilla and Legal Eagle look like they could be good guests if they would want to come on. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all. I also have been trying to call into Dooms sometimes to talk about some unique perspectives I think I have, especially when we're talking about schooling and stuff like that. But I want to save that for another time. I know that all of your shows have been just crowded.
Now that I know that when I see your name on Skype, it'll come with a huge promotion of my Patreon page.
Oh yeah.
You will be.
Oh no, I got you.
You will be moved right to the top of the call-in list. I honestly just click the first name that pops up, but I will now wait and make people hang up until I see your number show up first.
Okay, no, don't do that.
Thanks for calling in, Susan. Have a great night, and definitely call in on Tuesday for Doomed, and I will definitely be on the lookout for your call so we can have that discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great
Goodbye.
night. Bye. All right, folks. I know there's a few more people, but I really gotta. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling. I'm. When that the weight of my eyes start, I gotta hang up the phones. That's it for the phone calls. Let me get to the super chats. Folks, patreon.com/MattBinder. You know the drill. When I was on the phone with Susan, I explained it all for you. Let me thank some of those patrons who joined since the last episode of Scam Economy. Not many, but they're still. But that makes these people all that more important, honestly. We got Ben S, John H, Matt S, Claire C, Chris S, and Todd B. Excuse me. And thank you so much for being my latest patrons. It's really a huge help and boon to the growth of the show. Can't do without you guys, really. I'm not just saying that. I laid it out for you in that call with Susan, quite frankly. Now I will get to the super chats. Just a few. If you want to drop a last minute super chat, I'll read it. I'll get to it right now. For the this super chat was dropped during the show, like the show with Mario Gomez. A Seer with a super chat says, Bernie lost twice, LOL. A troll dropping a super chat. I mean, thank you for paying me for you to troll. Indeed, Bernie Sanders did lose twice. I'm not sure what to say to that. Joe Biden also lost twice in the primaries, and look at him now. President of the United States. Maybe third time's the charm for Bernie, too. Probably not, but Bernie did indeed lose twice. I'm not sure what the LOL is. Bo with this super chat. $5 super chat. Hey, Binder, what's the rumpus with leftover crack? I was once an anarcho-punk in my youth, and my Googling is turning up nothing about any controversy. All right, so apparently the singer, SZA, he married the girl, frontwoman from that folk punk band, Days and Days. And they apparently had a really bad falling out. And she is saying, and no reason not to believe her, she is saying, and very damning things for SZA in terms of how he treated her, both emotionally and physically. And I read what she wrote, and it sounds horrible, and I believe her. I would love for him to address these things. But I don't think he has. So the shirts remain tucked away in my drawer, which sucks because I have like 5 leftover crack shirts. It is a large part of my wardrobe. So yeah. I don't give a pass to my faves. That's simple. I mean, I like Days and Days, so that's another thing too. I'm not gonna. I believe one of my faves as well. Vinny Holiday with a super chat. Hey Matt, $5 super chat. Hey Matt, can you give us your opinion on what you think we will see happen in this country within the next 10 years? That is insanely broad, Vinny. That's insanely broad. In 10 years, I think this is a big 10 years, honestly. This is an important 10 years. I think the thing that will be on everyone's mind throughout will be climate change. Obviously, I hope. I think these 10 years we will see the most significant, results of climate change yet. I mean, you could have said that 10 years ago for the following 10 years, but this is an extremely important 10 years. I don't know. I just hope you are all happy and healthy and enjoy life. And, politics and all the other terrible shit and this scam economy can really weigh down on you. But at the end of the day, if you have people you care about and happiness and health, then that's all you need. That's all you need. At least for us. We will be probably no longer here when, you have to walk around wearing gas masks with oxygen tanks connected to them because the air is unbreathable or something like that. And we're living in like a dystopian Earth or something, Probably got to start preparing my kids for that. I don't know. I'm just being silly. I really don't know. 10 years is a long time. I don't know. If you would have said in 2010, for example, that in 2016 Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, I mean, yeah, think about it that way. I cannot even begin to imagine what's gonna happen in 2026. All right. Oh, twitch.tv/MattBinder. Don't forget to subscribe, follow that channel, obviously, but subscribe there with your Amazon Prime subscription. Because if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month, which means you're literally already paying for this freebie with your Amazon Prime subscription. So if you don't use it, you're letting Jeff Bezos keep that money, that extra money from you. Instead of letting Jeff Bezos do that, you can make Jeff Bezos give me that free Twitch Prime subscription. You're literally forcing his hand into giving me a portion of what you pay Amazon for Amazon Prime. Just connect your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account, and every month, hand over that Twitch Prime subscription to me. You got to manually do it every month. Once you're subscribed, they won't auto-subscribe. That's how Amazon tries to get you. But it's really simple to do. In fact, to show you how simple it is, Spacco, the voice of Scam Economy, he does the Scam Economy intro, and he's called into the show the last couple of nights to drop some knowledge. He sent me this email late last night. No, not late last night. Earlier tonight he did, excuse me. And he says, hey, Matt, since all my money is tied up in Qualus, and I don't have, that's a Star Trek joke, and don't have any Earth money, being an incredibly effective activist and blogger, I understand that, buddy. I followed your advice and linked my Twitch account to my Amazon Prime gaming account. I'm not sure if I did it right, but I think so. I didn't have a Twitch account before, so I set one up. This was a really simple thing to do, and I recommend you talk about it again tonight. Maybe walk people through the process. Also, if Amazon kicks you off every month, is that a calendar month or is it based on when you signed up? It's based on when you sign up, Spacco. If it's calendar month, you will know which week to remind people on the show to relink the accounts. If it's based on when you sign up, you need to remind people every week. This is even better than like and subscribe because apparently actual money goes to you. Yes. Thank you, Spacco. Now, folks, if Spacco, I believe Spacco is of the boomer age, and that's not knocking boomers, but I, a millennial, feel like a boomer when I'm on Twitch. Twitch really is like a foreign language to me. So if I feel like a boomer on Twitch, and I'm you guys know, I'm more than fairly, I'm pretty online. And then you have an actual boomer be able to figure out this thing on Twitch. It's got to be really simple to do. And you know what? That's a good idea, Spacco. Next week, I will see if I can set it up to walk people through it. Like visually, I'll do a screen share. Let me see if I can figure that out. I mean, I know how to do a screen share, but I want to see if I can show people how to subscribe to the channel without having to create a new account, because I doubt you could subscribe to your own channel. That's a good idea. Thank you, Spacco. And by the way, Spacco, it did work, because right here, I'm going to screenshot it actually and show you. Right here in my Twitch backend, I see the latest subscribers. And there you are, my friend. Spacco subscribed with Prime 6 hours ago. And you were able to grab the name Spacco. That's a short name, 6 letters. It wasn't taken already. Wow, good for you. Like I thanked my patrons, let me thank my Twitch Prime subscribers. Ponderosaphin or Ponderosapine resubscribed at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 4 months. Left a message. Best chat represent. That's for you guys in the YouTube and Twitch multicast chat there. Best chat. Cracktuary subscribe with Prime. Thank you, Spacco, of course. Thank you, Spacco. Ubi Gabe subscribed with Prime. Thank you. What else? Let's see who else. This is from the Doom this week, but I'll shout them out too, because this is the first time they're being read on Scam Economy. Zachamania and Spiky Mike both gave 100 bits. Zachamania resubscribed with Prime. Catnum58 resubscribed with Prime for 2 months. Oh, Zachamania did 4 months, I should say. He's at 4 months. And Dridicus subscribed with Prime. Solid Splake subscribed for 3 months at tier 1. Kitty's Hooch with the gift subscription and a subscription of their own, I believe, right? Nug Wrangler with the 6-month resubscription in a row. And Gmart Inc. with the subscription on Prime. And that's it. Everyone from the last episode. Wow, thanks for... we Snoozin' Susan just subscribed with Prime. Just got in there at the end of the very... the read there. Thank you so much. All right. Let's what else? Oh, by the way, YouTube just launched a thing called Super Thanks, which means if you're watching the replay of this and you're like, oh, shucks, can't drop a super chat because you can only do that in the live chat, and there's no live chat when it's not live. I'm watching the replay. YouTube just launched Super Thanks, which is their version of Super Chat for non-live videos. It basically lets you donate something to me, just like Super Chat. And instead of a highlighted comment in the live chat, you get a highlighted comment in the comments section. I mean, that to me, that's a game changer in terms of gives me more of a reason to drop like edited, uploaded videos, honestly. I need to get back on doing that, but so little time, quite frankly. All right, folks. That is the show. Apple Podcast and Spotify reviews. I know you've heard it all by now, but I'm going to keep asking you guys to leave it because it really does help. Just go to Apple Podcasts, search Scam Economy, leave a review. It literally takes seconds. Same with Spotify. If you haven't received your sticker yet, don't worry. I'm about halfway through getting through the people who left reviews. I will get you your sticker. Been a busy week with the kid. My son, the 6-year-old, had spring break, so I took a few days off to do things with the family. Still did a Doomed and Scam Economy last week. Had Taylor Lorenz on last week after her Libs of TikTok reporting. Did this great episode with Miguel. What am I saying? Mario. I was thinking of someone else who I'm going to have on. Excuse me. Mario, who was fantastic. Lands with the Surfs. Did my own report. Definitely check that out. I if you didn't hear it on Tuesday's Doomed show, I unveiled how Libs of TikTok was spreading a fake story that was planted by trolls. That got a lot of attention, and I was doing a lot of stuff with that. So I promise, if you haven't got your sticker yet, it's coming because people have already been receiving them. In fact, I'm going to start asking people to, if they want to, no forcing here, but if you want to, post a picture of where you sent your where you put up that sticker. I'll make a call for that earlier in the feed next week or something. All right, folks. Patreon.com/MattBinder, YouTube.com/MattBinder, Twitch.tv/MattBinder, @MattBinder on Twitter, Doomedcast.com for Doomed, ScamEconomy.com for Scam Economy, obviously. Leave that Apple Podcast review, leave that Spotify review, and I will see you all next time on the Scam Economy.